Who was it? Go lay down.
Go
in the house. We telling Bella, you need to go lay down.
Go lay down.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.
What's up, Patreon? Welcome back to the place where we tell you a lot more about probably things we never should have done.
Every week.
Looking forward to doing it again. We appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all are having a good time. We are really getting close to planning some really fun things and announcing some things, both live and virtual, all within CDC guidelines. Amen. Okay, so last week, in the last few weeks, we've been talking about online dating and bumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, I think I mentioned on the main podcast that I had met a new guy. I've been going on several dates and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this one guy I met a week ago, we have just clicked and vibed, but we have not met in person. We have talked on the phone, we text, and we video chat, but we have not met in person because he lives in Indiana. So the reason why I wanted to tell Patreon about this guy 1 week into meeting it, knowing him, because I haven't met him yet, is because this is my husband. And I want to have this on tape.
Pause it. Okay, go ahead. I didn't want you to say nothing else.
I wanted to document how I feel today, because y'all know it will change tomorrow. Y'all know it will change next week. Y'all know it'll change in a month. So I said, let's do one on this guy that I believe I'm going to marry this week.
Yeah, because she was right. She did say, let's go ahead and do it now.
Do it now.
Okay.
Because things change. And I want to say in my defense, before I tell y'all about when I'm going to marry this man, I have thought I could marry several and many men. If any of them had asked me at a certain age, at a certain point, the last 2 or 3 guys I dated, if they asked me to marry them, I would have said yes, more than likely. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry,
my bad. No, girl, it's been a long day. Everybody.
So it's not so much like, oh my God, I like this guy. He's so different. I'm gonna marry him. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, this is actually my husband. Does that make sense? There's a difference. I would have married any of the other guys I've dated if they asked me to marry them. I would be with any of the other guys I've dated if they were attached to dating me, right? I'm only back on the market because they ain't attached to dating me or being with me like that, right? This guy, though, from the very first conversation, I said, the next day I called you and I said, this is my husband. Now, what's ironic about when I called you was a Saturday. On the Friday before I met him, I was driving, ranting, mad about how much men suck.
Yeah.
I can't meet another man off this app. All of these men are the greatest things, and let them tell it. None of the women want to be wives and they want to be in the street. I said, I'm sick of men. They get them, and I just was ranting.
I forgot about that.
I remember the whole thing. I remember ranting. I'm ranting. And she really ain't giving me no energy. I said, say something. She was like, I ain't even got the energy to say that. I'm like, and then you know what? And I was upset because I had talked to so many great men on Bumble who, and I'm a parent and I'm like, whatever. And I don't know why it just triggered me and pissed me off.
It did.
Man was so great. This is on Friday evening.
Yeah. Very true.
I get off the phone with her probably around 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm swiping on Bumble that evening. I connect with this guy. We're going to call him Dr. Boo. And by Saturday morning, I text her. I said, girl, I met my husband last night.
And what did I text you back?
She sent me a gif of Cinderella turning over, putting a pillow on her head or something. Something rude. Because obviously, if my last conversation with her was like, I'm sick of this, men make me sick, they're so great. And the next text to her was, girl, I done met my husband. So that's why I wanted to tell y'all now, because I am open to the fact that things change quickly with me. I'm very well aware. But the reason why we never need to be too concerned, okay? Ain't nobody ever bought me no wedding gift. Ain't nobody ever had to pay for nothing for none of my choices in love. Ain't nobody ever had to babysit no kids from none of my baby daddies. I've never imposed, other than the stories and the hope of my friends. That's really the only thing I've ever asked y'all for was your hope.
That's the only sacrifice we made in this whole thing. Just some hope.
So I just like to remind people, when I say I've never met this man, I've only known he was alive for 1 week, that he is my husband. I'm well aware.
You make a good point though, because there have been people who know good and well they don't need to be married, inviting you to their baby shower, inviting you to their wedding shower, inviting you to their gender reveal, inviting you to their wedding and make you get in the wedding and put a dress on, and then next thing you know,
they didn't broke up, or they cheating, or even I ain't even the girl that didn't have multiple dudes tagged on Facebook. Like, so I get that. I get hopeful. I get very hopeful. Okay, this is it, because I ain't out here to just be doing this all the time. So when I meet one that I like even a little bit, hey, if he want to do it, I'm gonna do it. Right? So I want to give all these disclaimers before I tell y'all about my actual husband.
Okay.
I will meet my husband in 26 days in person, because he lives in Indiana. He has booked a flight to come and visit me August 13th, the weekend of August 13th. So I wanted to share this with Patreon, so we all have it marked on our calendars. Now, it might be August 16th, 17th, 18th that I'm like,
so what y'all do?
Y'all got a cousin or a brother for me. And I'm very open to that too, right? It happens. Ain't nobody gonna lose no sleep. It'll be okay. But right now, this dude is my husband. Now, I've told you for this past week, I've been telling you stuff. I've been sending you stuff. I've been sharing stuff with you. You 1 week into my newest commitment to myself. How are you feeling right now this week, before I give them more details about the actual person?
Okay, so I forgot why I did have initial ill feelings towards this, but you just reminded me, because the night before you did go on a rant and I did not participate. And I'm glad I didn't, because you would have, my emotions would have I just stayed neutral.
Didn't say anything. That was the night before.
I did not participate.
It was the same day. And then I met him that night, and then I told
him. And so the next day, yes, I did. And I was looking for the mannequin head. Y'all know the mannequin head that look over to the side and then turn around. I couldn't find it. So I had to send Cinderella, like, to let her know that I literally just rolled over in my sleep when I looked at that message and rolled my eyes.
Yeah, like, whatever, girl, because you just I hate men. And that is fair. And I remember it. That's why it was so funny to me to send to her, hey girl, I met my husband. Because I know when I hung up the phone with her, I was foaming at the mouth. Right.
But since then, I feel good about it. I don't know if I'm in a great atmosphere or extremely hopeful atmosphere, but I do feel good and I feel comfortable with everything how it's going on now. And I think the main reason, I told you this yesterday, is because based off your interactions with him, I've heard you talk to him on the phone. I've heard his conversation with you, like, because I be eavesdropping. And he does not seem like a person to put on airs, as opposed to the last couple of dudes that you've dated seriously before. He seems like a very real person, a very down-to-earth person, while he's smart and he has this, this. Well,
they don't know nothing about me yet. They don't know nothing about me.
Oh, well, I know, just saying, this successful whatever is not. He does not seem to push himself and try to impress you with all that mumbo jumbo. No. And so I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? I love the fact that he kind of, whatever. We'll go into all that.
I got to tell y'all about. Okay, so anyway, so she's pro right now. Right. Now, again, as my friend, she be open until she ain't. And it's usually based on the dude messing up. And whereas when the dude mess up, I be hurt and mad. And again, I tell her everything. At some point, I kind of just release it like, oh, well, because I've been doing this for 31 years.
Right.
And she,
I don't. I'm just as angry as the day it happened. You remember that time we were in the car and somebody texted you? This was years ago, probably before we started the podcast. And I was about to throw your phone.
Yeah.
Your phone. Mm-hmm. They weren't even talking to me.
Mm-mm. And she be really like mad. Like, and that's fine, because I be mad in the moment when I'm telling her it happened. But I promise you, it ain't 24 hours later. I'm like, girl,
yeah. I don't get over stuff. I
have given myself closure. I am at peace that ain't my situation.
Yeah.
So I don't even. So when they do show back up, hey, pretty? I don't even
bother you.
Get mad. Yeah. I just like, here they go. Okay, so this guy's 50 years old, 6 feet tall, has been divorced for 10 years, has 3 daughters. One is a freshman in college. The other 2 are in high school. He lives in Indiana, I mentioned. He's a professor at Purdue. You know, I love me an intellectual man. Okay. He's funny. He also has a bunch of swag. So he's like nerdy, but really swagalicious. He calls himself the trap professor, which I think is kind of corny. But you know, he's a black dude. He's a black man and he's blackity black, and is great. So he has not told me most of the most impressive things about him. The only thing he's ever told me is that he teaches at Purdue. That's it. I've Googled him and it's a lot of impressive stuff, whether it's research or papers he's written or talks he's given or grants he's been awarded. It's all there. He has never told me any of it. And I've never brought it up. I just know that's it. Mm-hmm. We video chat, so it is him. You know, the pictures, he's a very handsome guy. And he seems to really just think the world of me. So he has now decided within this first week of us meeting that we want to meet, and based on both of our schedules, he's going to come August 13th and stay for the weekend. So we're both very excited. I think both of us realize there's still a huge opportunity for us not to click in person. Right. You know, obviously you can see somebody's pictures, you can text, you can talk, you can video chat, but there still is something to be said about when you are standing there with the person, if there's a vibe. Mm-hmm. I think what I feel about the weekend right now, without putting any like fear or trepidation on it, is I know we will have a great time in Atlanta that weekend. So I think I'm excited. I'm attaching myself more to the excitement of he wants to go do stuff. He said, let's think of it like a little mini vacation before school starts back. So I'm excited about being able to go have somebody that I enjoy talking to and being around to go do different little stuff in Atlanta. Subtext, I'm meeting my husband in 26 days. Now, I have never said to him that I think he's my husband, except for I did. The only reason I did say it was because he sent me a video that had a woman, and it said, when you run into your future husband, and the woman says, I'm sorry, did I get your name, or should I just call you mine? He sent that to me. So I was like, why is he sending me this about running into your future husband? So then I told him what I would say if I ran into my future husband. I said, and this is via text, when I run into my future husband, I'm going to say, can I call you Google? Because you everything I've been searching for. And then I sent another text that said his name. Can I call you Google? Because you everything I've been searching for. And he said, oh, that was funny. And then he said, oh, but do you think I fit the bill? And I said, I do. And I'll say I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'll say I'll do it again. Set it up. So anyway, for my very first conversation, he told me he ain't trying to be dating in his 60s. He's not a serial dater. You know, of course, I asked, why are you single? He said, mostly by choice. His last relationship was 2.5 years ago. In the interim, his dad passed. His mom is older, has some illnesses, you know, so between school, kids, he just hadn't put a lot of energy on it. But he said he's ready, you know, to see what's out there. And then our first phone conversation, he said, well, I'm claiming this. I think you should claim it too. And I was like, no, what is this? What is this? What is this? We have never discussed marriage. I've never asked this man if he wants to get married again. We have never discussed being together. We've never discussed a relationship. We don't talk about none of that stuff. And I think whatever we talk about in the moment, and we talk maybe 10 times a day, I think we both hang up the phone thinking, I think that's my person. But we have not talked about that. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, oh, we gonna get married. Oh, I like you. Oh, we have never said anything close to any of that, which I also like. But I feel like there's a knowing on both sides of this a little different. He kind of matches my flow and my vibe. And I think because he is a handsome, successful Black man, I don't think he's desperate. I don't think he's booking flights to go see women to try to get their bits. And, you know, he ain't got to do that. Now, he did tell me he doesn't date students and he doesn't date colleagues. Because I was asking him, like, oh, these women in academia, you know. He said, I don't date colleagues. I don't date students. I don't date parents of students. I don't, you know, I'm good on that. And I think he can realize that as much as we struggle finding somebody, we ain't desperate. And it ain't like we can't get a man. Would you agree? Yeah. Okay. I'm like, you like, really?
No. You said we're not desperate and like we can't get a man. And I in my mind, I was thinking that we won't. Like, that's the problem. We can't get a
man. Right. That's the problem. We ain't desperate.
We can't get a man that we want.
That we want. And so because we ain't desperate, we ain't willing to just take any kind of old stinking man.
Exactly.
I'd rather be by myself. And you see women who have men who don't have the man they want, don't have the man they deserve. and they deserve them if they stay. But
Mhm.
not the man they want.
Right.
And it's just like we be sitting up here just by ourselves all the damn time. And because we were like, and you know what? If somebody say you picky, I'm like, I ain't even that picky. But I know I like what I like.
Mhm.
And I know I'm going to accept only so much of what I'm going to be willing to accept. Now,
Exactly.
I need to learn how to forgive. I need to learn how to let go. I need to know how to stuff I still need to learn in being a great partner.
And but I think that's a ever learning process, though. Even when you get into a relationship, you will still be learning how to deal with yourself and your emotions and your past and all this kind of stuff. Every time, that's like a growth thing. I don't know if you ever reached that point where, I think if you think you've known all you can and learned all you can, then that's when you get in bad situations.
Right.
But you should always be open to learning and growing and self-growth for sure. Sorry.
And I've had the opportunity, I mentioned on the main episode, in the dates I've gone on, I've been able to experience myself a little bit, paid more attention to who I am in these conversations with men, to be able to say, okay, girl, you don't need to always be funny, or okay, just let them say, because I want to be ready for my partner. I don't want to be argumentative with my partner. I don't always want to be making a joke with my partner, things that would actually turn away the person I really want, right? And so I'm just telling y'all, this man sends me articles and videos, and I'm the send the article and send the videos person to my, hey, I saw this, I thought of you. And how many times am I sending you something? Hey, look at this, I saw this. He does that to me, and he don't know that I do that. So it's little stuff like that I wouldn't even know to write on my list of my dream guy, that he would read an article and send it to me. And it's like, he sees me as a person. So what he does, and he has 3 daughters, but also what he does in his job is mentor underserved graduate students and women, minorities and women. So he actually sees women as people. And he ain't never told me nothing about I do this for women, or I believe this about women, or feminism's never talked about it. It's the way he talks and treats me. Y'all know the last few dudes I've dated say stuff like, oh, I'm busy. Oh, the troops ain't out of Iraq. Oh, it's like training to be a Navy SEAL. Because they feel I don't understand that they're busy and important and have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
This man said to me, look, we're both busy professionals. We'll figure it out. And I really was like, we both busy? Am I busy? Because I never knew that I was busy, because I have to hear about how busy. So it's little nuanced things that he'll say or do. I was telling you, he was talking about he's excited because he's losing belly fat and getting a waist. And I said, well, what are you doing to do that? And he said, I'm drinking a lot of water, I'm doing cardio, da, da, da. I said, well, then it helps that you're a man. He's like, yeah, no, that definitely helps. I know it's a difference. And I thought, this man ain't about to argue with me. Like, he ain't just say, no, all you got to do is do this, this, and this, and you'll look. And it's like, so I'm not going to have to explain my muffin top to this man, because he has an appreciation that men burn and lose weight differently and better and faster.
Go.
You wouldn't know to put that on your list until you see it. So he just does things all the time that I'm like, yes, that. But I, from the first conversation, and again, we have never had a conversation about, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Where do you want to live? What do you, nothing close to that. As we say, ghetto dating questions. we just be talking about today. It's like we met today. When we connected, it was like we met today, and then we just went from there. So I can't tell you how many brothers and sisters he got. I can't tell you, I can't tell you I think he told me his birthday, but I don't remember it. I don't know if his parents was together, a divorce. I don't, I'm saying, I don't know why he got divorced. I don't know what his wife does. I don't know how they met, how long they was married.
You don't know none of that.
I don't know,
girl, you don't know nothing.
So here's the scientific experiment that I feel like I'm a part of. We have discussed about a man is more attached to a time versus a woman being attached to a man. So a man will date a woman for 5, 6, 12 years, knowing he ain't gonna never marry her. But then when they break up, because she's only there because she wants to marry him. Eventually she leaves or they break up. He gonna marry the next one in a month or 2. And everybody like, dang, he was with her all that time and then he married her. A man told me on a date with me that he would be married within 2 years. And as I'm on the date, I said, you already got him picked out? And he said, it's not so much about the person, but the timing. And as I continued to chew my food, I thought, so it ain't got nothing to do with me. And the science is that women, it don't have nothing to do with us. Not like that. Obviously, they need to like you and love you and have affection for you, but it don't matter if they ain't about to do that.
Yeah, I think that speaks more true for older people in our age bracket as opposed to like teenagers and
Oh yeah, for sure.
and college students and stuff like that. But I really do think at this point in time, it is very much a timing thing for men. Like once they decide I'm getting married, if they find someone that they don't hate or
Yeah.
that makes them look good.
But think about it, they have such a greater pool to pull from anyway, right?
Exactly.
So,
and so it's more like
end up with a beautiful, successful Black woman. Yeah. I mean, boo-hoo, right? Okay, for us, we find one we can deal with and we hold on for dear life and say, okay, this is the one I'm gonna make it work with. And we wake up and it's 5 years and it's 6 years and it's 10 years. So I believe that this man is ready. Now, one of the guys I went on a date with, I mentioned he was ready. I didn't like him. Tight pants with the vision board was ready. You didn't like him. I like this dude. And I think he's ready. So the scientific experiment that I'm conducting is the answer is yes to everything he says. Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, let's do that. Sure, I want to. Not know, well, I don't know. Should we? Well, it's only been, well, let me think of. Yep, yes, yep, yes, yes, please.
What if he asked you to jump off a cliff?
Well, since we already discussed that, I suggested I jump off the roof. I don't think he will. But yes, are we gonna hold hands on the way there? Yeah. Y'all can say Eunice died with her man. Yes, put it in print, put our picture in there. So all I'm saying is, y'all, I wanted to tell y'all about, I'm not even in the space. You know, you're like, well, I don't want to say nothing about it yet. I ain't even met him. And what if it don't work out? No, I'm saying I want to document and get y'all in on this, and that I am working out. I'm drinking water. I'm not having my margaritas every night, because in 26 days, I'm meeting my husband. Dr. Boo.
I thought he was Dr. Bay. Dr. Boo?
Well, Dr. Bay, Dr. Boo, Professor Bay, you know, whatever.
Oh, okay. Professor Bay, that's what
so anyway, Patreon, I just wanted to share that with y'all. I have been having so much fun because he's 50, I'm 46, and we're doing the mature thing of being honest and communicating and saying what we want to say, but it's so 8th grade, you know, like the texting and giggling, and I like
it's very, very youthful.
It's very youthful, and
that's so a nice way of saying it. It's very youthful. It's so youthful.
It's immature. We're very immature. I love it. But we also are very mature in being like, hey, I like you. I'm pursuing you. I'm flying there. We go, you know, it's mature. We grown ups. As he likes to say, grown folks teams. We can do grown folk teams. Okay. But it's also very cute and sweet and a crush, and why am I liking you and you liking, you know, it's fun. So it's very light, it's very airy. I don't have any anxiety. I ain't worried about, is he gonna call me? I'm not, none of that. It's just fun. So I want to tell y'all that today, because things change by tomorrow around here.
Yeah, she's right. We had to get that out there.
Anyway, I'm gonna be all right. So we got this on tape. Whatever day y'all heard this, we that many days closer to me meet my husband.
It'll be on July 21st. July 21st.
Okay. So it's that many days until I meet my husband. So the episode, let's go ahead and know the episode on August 18th. It'll be probably out. August 18th. Is that a Wednesday, a Patreon day? She just yawning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. August 18th.
August 18th. Full report.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted us all to have something to be hopeful about.
They will be. I think they will be.
All right. And also, sidebar, the last one I dated in the whole birthday text, whatever, he just apologized via text. I received the apology, and back to my husband. Ernie, that's all I got.
That's all we got. That's all we got.
Oh no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did. Go down.
Because it feels like when you do it, say down.
Go down.
I mean, you feel like you're trying. It feels tribal, and like I'm supposed to be in Africa.
It sounded like straight up First Baptist Mountain.
Oh!
You know how them deacons start getting up there and humming. I'm like, okay then.